All right, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. I'm going to be more quieter, see if the audio quality is a little bit better. But today, we're actually going to talk about the EV tax credit. And there's actually a really cool infographic that I found on Twitter from Sawyer Merritt that goes through the whole EV tax credit. And it's really easy to follow along. And it looks like it's coming from a credible source, like a couple of energy organizations as well. So we're going to talk about the Tesla EV tax credit with the coming future, because it's not eligible right now, but we're going to see who's eligible, what's eligible, and really just explain it, because there's just a lot of confusion on it. And there's a couple articles, or there's at least another article that from Edmunds that does a really good job in talking about it as well. But that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the EV tax credit, and we're going to explain it. But let's roll the intro real quick. So hopefully my audio is a little bit better. I'm going to not try and yell to see if like the clarity is good and all that stuff. But welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. My name is Dennis, and I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on a Tesla, or selling your Tesla at the best possible price, or even just getting good financing rates. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Calendly link down below in the description, but more on that later. So let's get into it, see if this works. All right, perfect. So Sawyer Merritt, if you're not following him already, pretty big account on Twitter. He posts a lot of Tesla stuff, a lot of electric vehicle stuff. He's a pretty credible source, but he found this infographic that basically goes through the tax credit really well, I guess. So let's just take a look at it. And of course, this doesn't go into effect for the Tesla model vehicles until January 1st. So let's go through it, right? So the cap gets lifted for Tesla, so Tesla becomes eligible, as well as a bunch of other vehicles, like specifically GM. And so the MSRP cap goes into place. We already know that. It looks like it doesn't break that down here, which is kind of interesting, but we know that it's $55,000. Oh, it's right here. So on the second page, it's $55,000 for sedans and other vehicles, and $80,000 for SUVs, vans, and pickup trucks. So Model Y, qualified. Model X, unfortunately not, unless Tesla reduces the price. I mean, they've done it in the past. $55,000 for the Model 3. That's where it gets interesting, because right now the Model 3 long range price, before they took it away on the website, you can actually still get it in inventory. And most of you that watch me know that there's a really good site. You can see all the different inventory that's actually available. But this is a price history tracker, right? And we can see that before Tesla removed the price, or removed the eligibility to order Model 3 long ranges, it was actually at $58,000. So if we were to follow that and follow this tax credit thing for next year, the Inflation Reduction Act, that would mean the Model 3 long range does not qualify as it sits. It would actually need a price reduction down $3,000, give or take, to even be eligible for a base one to qualify. So right now, as it sits, Model 3 is kind of in question. Model 3 LFP, or standard range, that sounds like it's most likely not going to qualify because of where the battery minerals come from, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But you can see, so tax credit as a rebate. That means dollar for dollar you get the tax credit back on the vehicle, whereas in the first year, it's just your liability reduction. So everybody pays taxes. Even if you're a W-2 employee, you have to make about like 60 to 70K to pay like $6,000 or $7,000 in taxes. So after that threshold, of course, but anything lower, that's where you don't lose that full potential gain. But starting in 2024, that's why there's all these check marks here. The Senate, or at least the bill, is starting to put into it where they want it to be a dollar for dollar discount at time of sale. So we don't know how that's actually going to be in effect yet, but that's supposed to be 2024. We don't have any clarity on that, how that's actually going to work. But in 2023, you're going to get it back when you file for your taxes. You can see right here, there's the critical mineral percent of value requirement for half of the tax credit. So it's a full $7,500 tax credit, but it's broken into two parts, right? $3,750 and $3,750. The first half is where the critical mineral percentage values come from. So you can see, right, it's 40% and then goes all the way up to 80%. The battery component percentage is the other half of it. You can see it's 50% all the way up to 100%. It looks like in the first 2 years, the critical mineral foreign entities of current rule, maybe it doesn't apply, but it then applies in 2025 and past. And then you can see battery components, same thing. It applies in 2024. The maximum credit is $7,500 total for any type of vehicle within those mineral price points So it looks like Model Y might qualify. The industry rumors right now that it might only qualify for $3,750 or half of it. So we're not exactly too sure. And of course, Tesla is not going to come out and say anything about that because they don't want to harm any of year-end sales this year. So my prediction is they're going to come out and say something regarding all this late December, or even maybe January 1st, or even mid first quarter of next year, but because they don't want to mess with sales, right? The second page of this goes into it a little bit further. You can see all the different breakdowns here. Of course, I'll paste a link below in the description so you can take it out. Of course, there's income caps to both of these. So wait, this doesn't seem exactly right. I thought it was $150,000. Oh, this is for the used car. Sorry. Yeah, so it's right here. I was just looking at the wrong size. So for the income limits, it's $150,000 for single and then $300,000 for married. This is for the used car one, which I'm not even going to be thinking about the used car one because of this rule right here. I won't even look into it much because the EV price cannot exceed $25,000. So you're not really looking at too many vehicles that are EVs in that price range. Really, you're looking at Nissan Leafs, the Bolt, and then maybe the i3, the BMW i3 as well. So this credit's not going to really do anything. I think it's going to mess with the used car market, especially for those 3 EVs. It's going to jack the prices because dealers and people know that if you buy these vehicles, that you will basically get a $4,000 credit. So it's not even worth it in my opinion. But this is good. I mean, take a look at this. Most vehicles will qualify, especially if you, the Tesla Model Y might qualify, but most people will qualify if you're making under these. They will qualify if you're making under these income limits, but definitely some super interesting stuff. The other article that I look into a lot is the Edmunds one. It breaks it down, not as clear as on a graph style as the picture before, but it basically has all the same stuff. And really, it's going to be really, at least this one shows some vehicles that might be eligible as well, but definitely some super interesting stuff with the tax credit. My fingers are crossed that hopefully it comes back for the Model Y and the Model 3. And really, the only thing Elon and his team has come and set out that they're going to try and make a decision by the end of this year, and they have every intention to qualify their vehicles for the Inflation Reduction Act. So, but we don't know if that's going to be this year or next year or even the year after that. So definitely some super interesting stuff, really cool stuff from Sario Merit, especially this graph. Definitely check it out. And yeah, hit that like if you're enjoying it. This video was actually sponsored by my Calendly link. Down below in the description, you can actually see a Calendly link where you can schedule a call with me. And it's a 15 to 30 minute call where you can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you schedule a call, you actually get a link to my buying guide, which gets links to all the resources that I use to get the best possible deal and best possible rate. And right now, there's actually a credit union on my list that has 2.74% for 65 months, which is absolutely insane. But definitely check that out if you're interested. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.